Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and sink into some Software Inc. I've been playing this game for way too many hundreds of hours, and I figured I'd go ahead and stream up a game. Um, if I go and look at some of my other campaigns, I've made billions of dollars in some, and yes, I want to cancel the tutorial. Uh, I've made billions and billions of dollars. It's insane. Sometimes I really, really love this game. If you've never played it, uh, your mission in this game is to develop a software company. You can do it in a lot of different ways. You can be an OS designer, you can be a game designer, you can be a platform, or you can be a software as a service company. You can be software as a platform company. So you've got lots of different ways you can generate income, and in fact, you can actually be an IP company and just develop IP. Personally, I really like that, being the IP developer and acquiring. So you're kind of almost, you get just enough in terms of your equity on your own to play the stock markets, and so you can even do a stock market visual or stock market simulation of the game. So we'll go with the name Narzetti, since that is me. The company shall be Narzetti. Narzetti. I like to start in 1980. Difficulty medium. Days per month, 4 days. And I'm not going to customize him too much. I'll just kind of make him a little bit like myself, but not really that similar. But he mostly looks fine. I just don't like how he dresses. Suit, yes. And the color of that suit shall not be that. So let's see. Legs will be black. Legs will be black. Shoes shall be brown of some sort. Brown, it's in here-ish. We'll go with this kind of brown. Looks nice. Maybe we'll go with the blue pants. Or even brown pants. Nah, black pants. Black pants. Black pants, brown shoes. I'll go with that gauche kind of thing. Or maybe, actually. No. No, 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 no. That's silly. He's going to have vibrant shoes. He's going to be quite the cool guy. Look at him with his fun shoes. Oh my. Wouldn't you kill for shoes like those? I wouldn't, but, you know, some might. Torso. Suit shall be some kind of interesting color over here. And his shirt shall, of course, be white. But he's not going to have mint green. No, that's insane. That's stupid. Let's find an interesting kind of blue that matches them shoes. That's pretty good. You know what I could do is just copy the hex, so that way the shoes match the shirt, as it were. Hair color. Yeah, let's go blondish. Well, let's copy that. And let's go with some facial hair, and let's copy that, and apply that. And let's go with skin color. That looks fine. Now he looks like a human being. Give him some hair. How about business casual? He's not an old fella. Colors, eyebrow, skin, hair. Give him some of that. Let's see, hair. Let's see, face. Let's full beard. I'm a bearded fellow myself. Okay, so let's give him that color beard. There we go. And spectacle him. Nah, doesn't need spectacles. Shorts, pants, trousers, shorts. Head. Yeah, the head looks fine. Okay, so he is personality. Let's call him generous, optimistic. I like that. I generally like to go early on with having all skill in lead. And the only reason for that is just because I know that this game can go on for quite some time, so it just makes sense. So I'll go ahead and start it here. And let's go ahead and get cracking. Never. You'll notice that there's not much audio early in the game. And it looks to me like we've got a lot to build with. I like to do the cityscape, but we're going to do a forest for once. Let's go ahead and pause. So here's the interface. It's pretty straightforward. So here you've got a build mode. Never do a tutorial. So you can build some walls. You can build. So you got a lot more options than when the alpha came out. But let's go ahead and just get cracking with something simple. We'll just do How about 5 by 5? You know, it's a prison cell. That's fine. We'll go ahead and do some double doors. He doesn't need 2 doors. We will do this door because it adds light, so it's a free window. So we've got our door. Now what he needs is a desk. Go ahead and place that that way. That's the expensive desk and the expensive chair. He needs some way to heat and cool. We'll just plop those there. Let's go around this side. Since it's 1980, you can only have 1 computer. Give him some light. How about some light? There we go. So that's basically all you need to start, minus the bathroom. So he'll probably be managing people, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then let's find the kitchen. Bathroom. So let's give him a bathroom. We'll put it on this wall. Okay, let's go back to here and do construction, and we'll build a fairly straightforward, large but double bathroom. I plan on expanding fairly quickly, if possible. So, oh yes, I have to use this wall. Duh. So do that. Alrighty. So now we need some doors. Not glassy doors. That'd be silly. So the door there, and let's see, and another door here. Excellent. Let's see. Let's get into here. All right, and we will duplicate this like so. Alrighty. And if you can notice, I'm just flying through my setup here. If you've never played this game, I can build a tutorial, but I'm not sure how much people would care for that, because it's kind of a... There's a lot in this game. I mean, it's a very, very deep game. You can spend a long time just setting up your office. So I don't want to do all that. I just kind of want to get cracking away with a really simple game plan. I think with this particular company, I want to build... Never. Oh, I should hit disable all. I want them to be really good at IP. So we're going to go ahead and do this work and set that as our core team, disable all. And dismiss. So here, when we're ready to start our first day, so here what you can see is that we've got our tasks. There's lots of them. So there's development, design, marketing, support, research, porting out old products into new platforms, filter based on select teams. So here's project management. So this is a new one to me, so they must have updated the game again. We've got about $4,000 in the bank. Right now we're negative revenue. Well, we're non-negative revenue. It looks like idle employees is all of them. Yes. Ooh, no. Okay, let's get to our first day. All right, so here you can see our monthly profits. We are down $6 grand. We spent $7,000 just getting this place built. Hopefully he'll come in and crack away on this project. We've got 4 days to complete it. We should just plow right through it. There's usually several design phases, so we'll go ahead and develop this because we've completed that. Excuse me. And it looks to me like we're going to move right through this and get that done. I'm going to go ahead and accept, at this point, another contract. So the number of contracts you have can greatly determine the impact. So right now what we're trying to do is just get enough of these processed early games, that way we can turn a little bit of a profit, so we can actually hire a few employees. Probably 5 will be the goal of, you know, like 4 hours of work, 5, and then after that you go into 20, 50. The last campaign I played, I had 190 employees, and my computer started to really slug down. Because at that point, you've got so many different employees working at the same time that it really eats up all the resources, so it's not a great idea. At least when you're gaming on a Mac, I mean, the Macs aren't necessarily designed to game for these uber campaigns, but they do a great job on, you know, smaller scale stuff. So we finished that contract. We made $8 grand. That's awesome. We're not going to hire the next employee yet. We want to just get a few contracts down under our belt. So we'll go ahead and plop out another. We're going to let this one get most of the way through before we accept another contract. And we'll develop that. And so you can see sometimes that. So here's the other thing you can do is at night you can boost your the total scores by doing this stuff. Array, class, and MOUS, END, void, double. So what I'm doing is I'm typing out the words, and it's giving me a multiplier, and it's also completing the task. So it's like you're working overtime. So it just helps get early game cash in your hands. Alright, I'll just stop there. So we're most of the way through here. We're at 43%. You should get this done basically in the next day. Here we can set priorities. There's the number alignment right there. If we had servers, we could attach this to, so that way we could process some other information, we would. Here, what we can see is insurance policy. So basically what you can do is you can plop some money in here, and you'll start accruing some interest on those dollars. The earlier you get the dollar in there, the better it is, obviously, because insurance compounds pretty quickly. But it'll only pay up to about $12,000 a day cycle. So what you want to do is you want to get in there and get enough in your insurance policy, so that way you're constantly growing that account, but you're not necessarily cash starved. So here I can buy my stock. So it's saying I'm worth $14,010. And people can buy my stock for 50 grand a pop. So that means I'll get 50 grand and I can use that for dev. Here's where I can take out some loans. It looks like my interest rate is 3.54%, which isn't terrible. Here's all the software being produced in the back end of the game. So this is literally everything. So here's all the other studios and all the other software pieces out there. Whether there's marketing or not, whether there's active users or not, inventors, marketing, retail price, profits. So it looks to me like the most profitable guy right here was done in 1977. Considering this is 1980 with an interest rate like that, that's pretty good returns, although this one actually made more money. I can talk about the impact rate of of the inflation rates, but that's not necessarily calculated in this game. So we'll not do that. I will adjust at this point, manage my employees. I'm going to adjust a few things so that way I can see how they're all doing. So here, if I click on him, it'll tell me how good he's doing in terms of his performance, his skill level. So this is a scaler on everything you're doing. Right now what I'm doing is I'm doing logistics apps. So they're increasing, they're just not increasing very quickly. Here I can manage my staff, which will tell me my arrival time, my departure time, and that sort of thing. So arrival, I want 8 a.m. That's fine. This is where I call in cleaning, support, and IT. Here I'm managing my team. So here I can set individual teams to individual kinds of projects. So for example, I can have a development team, a design team, a code team, an art team. My next team will probably be a design team or a code team. And I know that right away just because I played it enough that it's just something I'm thinking about. You set your vacations on different times so that way they don't necessarily conflict with that. I'm going to have 10-hour work days for him and 9-hour work days. That'll be fine. Or 11-hour work days. I will work on through the night on this one because it looks to me like he might not get it done. Okay, so he did get it done. Good. So we'll promote that and we'll take on our next contract right now, which is game assets. This will be more difficult to complete. So we'll go ahead and do that. And actually what I might end up doing is say code 1 or core 1 design, core design. I need to test that. Can I rename you? I can't. how do I, oh, there it is. I'll rename you as core code, or core 1 code. I'm thinking the way the algorithm works, so core 2 design. Add. Alright, so that should be core 2 design. Okay, that's fine. Core 1 code should be core 1 space code space delete. Core 1 space code. Okay, well, I think it's work. It should sort them so that way core is the first, core 1 is the second, core 3, etc., etc., etc. We'll go ahead and release that. Apparently there were no bugs, so that's good. We'll go ahead and invest in ourselves some more. We got 15 grand, so we'll put another 10,000 in. So we'll deposit 10,000, giving us 9,000. Oh, we've got $20,000 in our funds, and we've got $9,000 of life insurance per employee, and we've got $7,070 for each person. So now let's take a look at our monthly profits, and this is what I mean by where you're going to accrue your interest. So here we've got interest on something. That interest is on our principal in our insurance. So we want to grow that, and that's pretty important. This is the other mini game, which is where you connect some. You literally drag and drop to connect boxes, but what you have to do is you have to equal 0 across all the connections. I can't think of a single analogy that I've worked with personally where this would be necessary, but I'm sure there is a use case out there. So biff. And so you can see the goal there on the right hand side is increasing. So that was worth 3% of completing it. And then here. And then we'll just go ahead and pick up all of that. And we'll get it to, because we can do this while the evening's running, and it's a little boring, but I can explain a few other things about the game. One of the other aspects of the game that I really, really like is that you can acquire software and redevelop it. So you can repackage and redevelop entire software platforms and then sell them for boatloads of cash. And you can actually make an entire career out of doing that. So what happens is, in that case, so you see I didn't complete all of this in time. They all approach the center at the same time, so then it just it cancels that attempt, and so then I have one less attempt to complete as many of these as I can. So you're incentivized to connect as much of this stuff together as you can, and simultaneously not let anything get to the middle. It does speed stuff up, and early game you kind of have to do this, otherwise that you're going to get boned. Alright, so we're at 87%. Let's get it to 100% and just be done with it. I don't want to spend too much time showing you guys this stuff, so I very well may just speed over it at another point in time. So if I do another one, I'll just skip through it and edit it out. Okay, so that's all done. Let's get him back into work. Now that this is done, develop, and we have 3 days left to get through this goal. Looks to me like we might get there, so dismiss, that's fine. Let's take a look at our monthly profits. We made $84 in interest, so at $10,000 you make $84 a month. Or $20,000 you make $84 a month, which is, so that's not a hell of a lot of cash, is it? It's $42 a month per $10,000. So you need a really large sum of cash in there to basically pay for an employee just on interest. I try to get to that point with about 4 employees before I go crazy. So he's done that one. Okay. So let's take a look at our contracts now. Let's go ahead and pick off some of these larger ones, which is logistics. We'll go ahead and get that one in. It did it perfectly right. Okay, excellent. So that tells me that when I'm doing my teams, because it's really frustrating to have all that, we're going to go for getting that done. But at this time, since I've sort of introduced the game, we spent a little bit of time in it. I will come back and we'll get this guy cracking and we'll start working our way to the second employee. So this has just been the brief introduction, and we'll be back for more at another time. Have a good one.